Welcome back to HPL. We're in our third round of the night, and we just saw Kaldi get a 1-0 lead over Greensheep. Now, Greensheep kind of threw a little bit of wrench in there. Everyone thought he was going to be really aggressive, and he came and brought kind of a demon-centric Warlock mid-range deck to the table.
Yeah, a little bit more mid-range, but still seeing him push for that damage. You know, I think it's what he had to do to win that game. And just once again, when you go back and watch that, the fact that he still had a 50% chances was unbelievable there towards the end, but just enough for Kaldi to go ahead and squeeze it out. So, I mean, kind of moving into this game, how do you think there are strategies you're going to adopt? I mean, we're going to have to find out because game 2 is getting underway right now between Greensheep and Kaldi.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Greensheep. I'm pretty sure he did something like 60 points of damage that last game. So guys, get out there on Twitter, hashtag HPL, let us know what you think of this match so far. There's been a lot of damage thrown back and forth. What are these players going to do? How are they going to get each other? And you know what? We're seeing a little bit of a change up here. Kaldi's going with Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, very much mixing up his play here, and Greensheep looks like he's the one over to the handlock strategy right now, swapping things up. There's a Twilight Drake in his opening hand, so he's going to play more of the long game here with Kaldi. He feels like he can go toe-to-toe with him.
Now, you got to believe this is more like the face Hunter side because Kaldi just turned one abusive Sergeant.
Yeah, and no Mortal Coil in this opening hand. That abusive Sergeant's going to be able to pull some damage through. No Dark Bomb here. I don't think coining a Dark Bomb is the best play, and look at that. Wow, option Glaivezuka chooses to Hero Power instead. That's very curious, I think, because he's got the Eagle Horn bow in his hand as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting that he does that versus playing it, getting the extra damage out of getting to push an extra 3 damage that turn, but maybe it's something to do with his curve later in the game. He wants to get the Eagle Horn bow into next turn. Maybe he thinks that Greensheep is still playing the same Warlock deck that he was last game, and he'd rather have Eagle Horn bow in play than the Glaivezuka.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I think that's exactly what he's considering, is how his cards are going to line up versus exactly what Greensheep just did. So the fact that Greensheep has swapped up his strategy here, maybe thrown off Kaldi a little bit, but again, Hunter is one of those decks that Handlock can struggle against, and this hand from Kaldi is not a joke right now.
Oh, his hand is great, and yeah, sometimes Handlock does really struggle in this matchup, but I love this format in HPL, the fact that you can queue up a Warlock deck and play the demon-centric deck, and then, you know, the next game you're playing against Warlock again, you're like, oh, he's playing that deck again. No, he's playing something completely different.
Yeah, you're seeing mind games come into effect at pretty much every single step of the way. I don't think a single person has really known exactly what's going to happen. We've seen some people have very good strategies when they come into these matches, but no, I don't think anyone's been able to be absolutely perfect as far as what they predict so far.
And you see Kaldi actually knowing where his opponent's face is here. That's a really big skill for Hunter players, knowing where your opponent's face is.
Yeah, that's the one that has taunt for sure. Just going to push for damage. Something you'll see from Hunter very consistently is looking to put their opponents in dire situations and have the endgame burst to finish him off. Twilight Drake here, an excellent threat versus something like Leok. It's going to squeeze in a few more points of damage here, and that Wolf Rider really kind of tips us off into exactly where Kaldi's focus is here. It's directly to the face.
Yeah, it's directly to the face. This kill command is not big enough to take down the Twilight Drake here, so his turn's going to be a little awkward here. He's going to Glaivezuka finally, make sure that he uses all of his mana here this turn now. It's very interesting that we talked about that he knew exactly where the face was this match. When I was practicing with this deck, like trying to learn face hunter a lot, what I did was I put a note card on my screen and then cut out my opponent's face. That way I didn't know where anything else was but my opponent's face, so that's all I could attack.
At times, these decks have to control a little bit of what's going on the board, but against a deck like Handlock, you're not going to see that focus be on minions. You're going to see it focused on applying pressure. The trading is all up to Greensheep at this point. He's the one who's looking for minion kills. He's the one who's going to look to healing. You know, your life total, the fact that one of the reasons that aggressive strategies work so well against decks like Warlock is that Warlock is trying to intentionally use its life total to try to gain that edge. When you can take that away from their strategy, that's where you really start to get that big edge. And look at this, 2 kill commands in hand. You couple that with that hero power. If Greensheep doesn't find some healing here very soon, he is going to be 100% done.
Yeah, you made a great point there. Kaldi is really, really punishing him for using his hero power here and having a slow start. There's so much damage coming out of this Hunter deck now, and he's got both kill commands in his hand to back it up. This game might be over very quickly.
Yeah, no action as far as healing is concerned either. All he's got is that Siphon Soul, but there has to be a minion out for that. You don't want to Siphon Soul your own minion, and that's only 3 HP. So, once again, Greensheep doing what he can to try to control the board, but Kaldi looks like he's going to have the better of him here. Eagle Horn bows 3 more points of damage. Hero Powers 2 more. It's going to leave Greensheep at 4. If he doesn't find a way to keep himself out of range of this, that's it. And he has nowhere near enough pressure to scare Kaldi at this point.
Yeah, and I gotta believe that Kaldi is going to use the Eagle Horn bow this turn because you have to believe that your opponent is going to taunt up next turn.
Or even just the potential they draw it, even if they don't have it. The fact that you can squeeze this damage in now and then use the direct damage later, heads up play here from Kaldi.
Yeah, he's showing he understands the matchups. We talk about that coming in, that he really understands his matchups and where he's supposed to be and how he's supposed to win from them. And you're seeing great play from him in this game.
Yeah, that Sludge Belcher is not going to be enough. And once again, Siphon Souling your own minions is never the position you want to be in. And the damage in hand from Kaldi's going to be enough. He's going to take a 2-0 lead here over Greensheep.
Yeah, having both kill commands here is quite huge. He's going to be able to easily finish this game off. He would have been able to get through a lot of heal as well here. He would have been able to play a longer game if he had to, but he doesn't need to. He's up 1-0 over Greensheep.
Yeah, 2-0 actually.
I'm sorry, 2-0. I apologize.
Took that first game as well. So Kaldi mixing it up a bit here, and it's paying off for him. Also, you know, we talked about how people haven't been able to pinpoint strategies and guess exactly right. You know, I don't think that Kaldi necessarily had a big edge in that first game. I mean, that was kind of a grueling battle that happened in Greensheep's opening. Wasn't very strong, but here he got the right matchup, and I think that's exactly what he wanted to face.
Yeah, as you said, a grueling battle in the first one. In the second game, we saw kind of him just get beat up. We saw a great early draw from Face Hunter there. And you know what? He knew what he had to do in the matchup. He used his mana very, very well. We talked about that before the match, that his mana utilization is really high. And you saw him use almost all of it every single turn, and he got the win.
Yeah, not a lot of fancy stuff it takes to win. You just got to do the right things at the right times. Be your focus on killing minions. Be your focus on getting the long game, keeping your life total higher. Be your focus on massive damage. They're looking for efficiency at every step of the way, and that is paying off now for Kaldi in this one. When we come back, it's going to be game 3 between Kaldi and Greensheep. Match point for Kaldi and Greensheep, our third player of the day, who's going to need to win 3 straight to win the match. So get out there, use that hashtag HPL, let everyone know who you're supporting and what you think is going to happen. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.